Life after 40 for men brings changes few are ever warned about. As priorities shift and the body, mind, and relationships evolve, many men quietly confront realities they never expected, from declining energy and unspoken health concerns to deeper questions about purpose, identity, and fulfillment. The untold truth is that midlife isn't just about loss, it's a turning point. Those who recognize these hard realities early can rebuild stronger habits, redefine success, and create a more meaningful, grounded second half of life. What no one warns you about may become the very insight that changes everything. Like, subscribe, and share. You probably heard people say 40 is the new 30, but your body didn't get that memo. One day you're pulling all-nighters, crushing workouts, bouncing back from anything. Then suddenly, you're not. It's not dramatic. There's no announcement. Your energy just starts leaking away like air from a slow puncture. You need more coffee to feel normal. Weekends become about recovery instead of adventure. That Friday night plan? Yeah, you're choosing the couch more often now. And here's what nobody tells you. It's not about being old. It's about testosterone dropping, metabolism shifting, and stress accumulating for decades, finally sending you the bill. But most men don't connect the dots. They just push harder, sleep less, and wonder why everything feels heavier than it used to. The real kicker? This is just the beginning. Remember when you felt invincible? When you could eat garbage, skip sleep, and your body just handled it? Those days are gone. After 40, your body stops giving you warnings. It gives you consequences. That minor back pain becomes chronic. That occasional heartburn becomes something your doctor wants to monitor. Blood pressure, cholesterol, blood sugar. Suddenly you're tracking numbers you never cared about. And the doctor visits change. They're not checkups anymore. They're negotiations. Let's watch this. We should test for that. Have you considered? Here's the uncomfortable truth. Men after 40 start dividing into two groups. The ones who take this seriously and adjust, and the ones who ignore it until they can't anymore. The second group always regrets waiting. Your body's not broken. It's just done pretending you can treat it like a rental car. But here's where it gets deeper. If you're married or in a long-term relationship, things shift in ways you didn't see coming. The passion that felt automatic, now it takes intention. The connection that just happened, now it requires work. You're not falling out of love. You're just busy, exhausted, focused on work, kids, bills, responsibilities. And somewhere in all that, you became roommates who occasionally remember you're supposed to be partners. The conversations get shorter. The intimacy gets scheduled. And you start wondering if this is just what happens when you've been together this long. But here's what no one mentions. Your wife is going through her own changes too. Hormones, identity shifts, wondering if this is all there is. You're both transforming, but you're doing it alone in the same house. And the kids? If you have them, they're either demanding everything or they're pulling away into their own worlds. Either way, you're questioning if you're doing it right. Some men cope by working more. Others drift into quiet isolation. A few blow everything up trying to feel alive again. The ones who make it, they realize this is the moment to rebuild connection, not assume it's supposed to stay automatic. But there's something even harder lurking underneath all this. You've been climbing the ladder for 20 years. You've checked boxes, hit goals, built the life you were supposed to want. And then one random Tuesday, you're sitting at your desk and you think, is this it? The career that drove you doesn't hit the same anymore. The money's better, sure, but it doesn't excite you like it used to. You got the title, the house, the stability, and somehow it all feels hollow. This is the question that haunts men after 40. What am I actually doing this for? Your dad worked the same job for 40 years and seemed fine with it. But you're wired differently. You were told you could be anything, do anything. And now you're stuck wondering if you chose wrong. Some guys buy motorcycles. Others start side hustles. A few have affairs trying to feel something that isn't routine. But those are symptoms, not solutions. The real issue? You're realizing success doesn't equal fulfillment. And the script you followed, work hard, provide, retire someday, doesn't actually answer the deeper question of what makes life meaningful. And that realization can either destroy you or remake you. But first, you have to survive what comes next. You're not who you were at 25, and you're definitely not who you thought you'd be at 40. Maybe you've lost the abs. Maybe you've lost the hair. Maybe you've gained wisdom, or maybe you've just gained weight and regrets. Either way, the mirror shows someone different. And it's not just physical. The guy who used to be fun, he's now the responsible one. The guy who took risks, he's now calculating everything. The guy who had big dreams, he's now just trying to hold it together. You catch yourself saying things your father said, doing things you swore you'd never do. And the scary part? You're okay with it. Or at least, you're too tired to fight it. But here's the twist nobody prepares you for. This isn't surrender. This is evolution. The question is whether you're evolving intentionally or just letting life shape you by default. Some men double down on trying to stay young. They dress younger, act younger, chase younger. It never works. Others embrace being old and just give up on growth entirely. That doesn't work either. The real challenge? Accepting you're changing while still choosing who you're becoming. And that brings us to the hardest truth of all. Men after 40 are some of the loneliest people on earth. And nobody's talking about it. Your friends from your 20s? You barely talk anymore. Work friends? They're not real friends. Your wife? She's your partner, but you can't tell her everything. Your kids? They don't want to hear about your struggles. So you carry it alone. The doubts, the fears, the questions, the weight of being the strong one. You're supposed to have it figured out. You're supposed to be stable, so you don't reach out. You don't admit when you're drowning. And here's the brutal part. Society tells you this is normal. Man up. Provide. Don't complain. So you do. And you get more isolated, more disconnected, more stuck in your own head. The stats are terrifying. Men over 40 have the highest rates of suicide, the lowest rates of close friendships, the most untreated depression, and most of them will never ask for help because they've been taught that needing help is weakness. But it's not. Isolation is the weakness. Connection is the strength. And if you don't deal with this, everything else falls apart. So here's the truth nobody tells you up front. Life after 40 isn't about decline. It's about decision. You can let these realities bury you, or you can use them to rebuild. Smarter, stronger, more intentional. The energy doesn't come back on its own, but you can reclaim it with better sleep, movement, and cutting the things draining you dry. The health issues don't go away, but you can face them early instead of waiting for a crisis. The relationship doesn't fix itself, but you can choose to fight for connection instead of drifting. The purpose crisis? That's not a problem. That's your mind telling you it's time to stop living someone else's script and write your own. The identity shift? That's not loss. That's growth, if you own it. The loneliness? That ends the moment you admit you need people and start building real connection again. Life after 40 isn't the ending. It's the part where you stop pretending and start choosing. Where you stop chasing what you thought you wanted and build what actually matters. Most men sleepwalk through this decade. They numb out, shut down, or blow everything up. But the ones who wake up, they turn 40 into the best thing that ever happened to them. Because here's the secret. You've got experience now. Resources. Clarity. You know what's real and what's noise. You've got less time to waste on things that don't matter. And that's not a limitation. That's a superpower. So what's it going to be? Are you going to let these hard truths crush you? Or are you going to let them wake you up? Because the men who thrive after 40 aren't lucky. They're intentional. They face the same realities you're facing. They just chose differently. You've still got decades ahead. The question is what you're building them into. If this hit home, drop a comment and let me know which reality hit hardest. And if you want more no BS truth about life, growth, and what actually matters, subscribe. Because we're just getting started.